What up, y'all? It's the Jeff Wilson here. And a lot of y'all been asking me, Jeff, I want to get in some lasering, but I don't have the money to drop on a big expensive laser like you have. What are some other options? Well, let me show you. So what we have here is the Falcon 2. It is a 22 watt laser that we're about to unbox and see how this thing works. Let's go on and get this unboxed. And as you see, our frame is already all put together, which is a big plus. There's some other ones out on the market where you do got to put this frame together and get stuff lined up and adjusted just right, which can make it a pain. But we got our safety glasses. We got our 22 watt laser, air pump, legs to adjust it, screws, keys, power supply. It's a nice little kit we got going on here. Let's get it out of the box, get it all put together for y'all. Even has a honeycomb tray with it. Air tubes already ran on here, so that is going to make it nice. We already got tubing ran for our laser head. Make sure nothing else in the box. That says already, just out of the box, I am definitely impressed with this, on how heavy this little unit is with not even all the parts on it. So the very first thing I want to do, I want to flip this over. Being real careful with it, I'm going to install our legs on here. They just screw in. And I do have the little risers on here as well. So these are, we can't take that off and drop it like that. To make it a little shorter, I am putting the riser on here because I will be using the honeycomb on this. And there is different positions on here to put the legs. So there's 3 on each corner. I'm just going to put this on the furthest corner on each of these. Next, I want to loosen our air pump hose. And I want to attach our air pump. That's all it is here. You just press it on there. It's good to go. Good thing about this air pump is, well, it does have isolators on here, so it's not going, whenever it's vibrating, it's not going to be as loud. Now, we come to the heart of the system. 22 watt laser. Now, we do got a slot right up here for our air to plug into. And then other than that, it's just plugging in one little connection and the laser is pretty much ready to go. Now, for installing this laser, it's real simple. Like I said, we got 2 little thumb screws over here. This will actually slide on. You just tighten these thumb screws down, and that's going to hold it in place. Now, whenever we go to start cutting or something, we do have something to set our laser. But as far as this goes, this will plug in right right up here on the top of this. And then your air hose will press in right there. And that's all it is to that. And like I said, this is where it can freely move. Now I will put this line off into these right here, which you just slide in there. That takes your slack. This is all held up out of the way. It's able to move freely side to side and hit its limit switches. So to give you all a closer view, it's clearly labeled. So there's your air, there's your power, there's your air again, and of course the power is already connected to that. So now for your power portion of it, first we got our air pump. As you see right here on the side, we got a little slot for it, and this will just plug on in whenever you get it lined up. Easy as can be. Now your power supply, we got this box, and it's on the opposite side. And same thing, it will just plug right in. It's easier if I use two hands. So there you go. That's plugged in. That's plugged in. Only other thing to do is to plug that into the wall. Now, one thing with this Falcon 2, we can actually use Lightburn, which is my preferred program to use. It can use another program as well, but Lightburn is what I'm used to using, so I use on my other plotter, other laser, and I've had great luck with it. Now what I'm going to do, they have a file already on a little flash drive that I'm going to try out and see how well it works. So we come over here. First thing we had to do was take this block and set our height. So we come over here. I already have it framed, but we'll frame it again. We will put our safety glasses on because there's nothing to block the laser as it is cutting. Now, saying that, it does have a little window right off in here, but you still want to wear eye protection just to be on the safe side. All we got to do now is hit start. Now what this is going to do, it's going to burn that image, and it's also going to do some cutting, and we'll let it do its own thing, and I'll show you what the outcome looks like. Also, just a quick reminder why this is going. This is an air adjust over here, so you can adjust the amount of air pressure that is coming out, whether you're going to burn or cut, because if you're just engraving, you're not going to need as much air pressure. Now, whenever you are cutting wood with it, you will need more air pressure, and the more the air pressure, the better the outcome. Just so you can see why you want to be wearing safety glasses, is that blue lot right there. Depending on how tall you are or short, you can see that laser. Now, I did have to put my dogs up because they were looking this direction, and that's the last thing I need is two blind Dachshunds to go along with how grumpy they already are. And again, this is why you wear your glasses in here, because the lights are off in the shop, minus the door being open, and you can see how bright that laser actually is. Now, as you see, it had no issue cutting out this wood. Nice clean lines. I don't have any burn through on the back. That's thanks to the air compressor that this thing came with, because I've had some before I had air assist hooked up to it. It would leave burn marks all over the back. So it's actually pushing the laser through there and putting out what little flameage does occur on this. So let's give it another test. Now with that first test going great, with this, we'll step it up, go on some thicker 1/4 inch plywood, and we're gonna cut out a bigger design on there, see how well it turns out. Well, forgot to hit record after this was done cutting out, but it cut out everything great. And just playing around, I went back and did a real small one just to see how small the details can get. Cut out both of these, no issues. I'm actually thoroughly impressed, especially cutting out this thicker wood on here, and just the amount of detail that it can get on cutting out, say for stencils or some wall art. Did pass my second test. We got another one coming up. So now I'm going to tell you some pros I do like about this. First thing, it has an anti-tip mechanism. So if something's happened, it loses its work surface, it's going to automatically shut off that laser. So also it's not going to be beaming a laser across wherever you're cutting at. Second thing is, it has a fire alarm. So if your material does catch fire, it will also cut the laser off as well. So that's a big plus, especially if you're working some certain woods or papers, real easy to catch fire. Another thing is, it actually has a sensor to let you know if your lens is dirty. And I know constantly have to clean lenses, especially on this big boy right here. This right here lets you know when you need to clean it. Does help out. So that way you have a reminder, hey, I need to clean this before I go to this next job. And of course, it's always good to take care of your lens, keep it as clean as whenever you can. In between jobs, you get a better outcome on that. But say you're midway through it, you realize your lens is dirty, hey, it's letting you know. Also, more of the positives, like I said, this came in fully assembled. Everything was adjusted, ready to go pretty much out of the box. There was a whole, 3 steps to put this together. There are a lot of other lasers out there where you got to put them together piece by piece, especially when you get into diodes like this. And if it's not exact, you will have issues with it. Not a problem with this one, because I know I have another one around here which I rarely use because I'm constantly having issues with it. I know everything's set up good to go, my tensions are correct. I had no issues with it running all 3 of the test samples I did. Another pro about this, it can take an SD card and run offline. So if you're not online and you still want to run this, you can do that. You got all your controllers still right here to frame everything out. Start and pause it. Don't get much easier than that. Now, with good, there's always some bad. The only real complaint I have about this unit is the size of this honeycomb. It's great, it comes with one. It worked great on the few little projects I was doing, but it's small compared to this unit. Like I said, that's my only gripe, which is an easy fix, because heck, you can pick these honeycombs up all day long or even build one yourself. But as far as complaints, that is my only complaint about this. Would I still recommend this? You better believe it. This right here is great for someone that's just wanting to get into lasering to do it out of the house, or if you just need to add something small to your shop you already have going. This right here, it can do just about anything you're going to need it to, with the exception of engraving on metals. Now, but you actually can do a little bit on metal. Now, if you want to, you can do a little bit on metal. But if you want to do a little bit on metal, you can do a little bit on metal. But if you want to do a little bit on metal, you can do a little bit on metal. But if you want to do a little bit on metal, you can do a little bit on metal. But if you want to do a little bit on metal, you can do a little bit on metal. But if you want to do a little bit on metal, you can do a little bit on metal. But if you want to do a little bit on metal, you can do a little bit on metal. But if you want to do a little bit on metal, you can do a little bit on metal. But if you want to do a little bit on metal, you can do a little bit on metal. But if you want to do a little bit on metal, you can do a little bit on metal. But if you want to do a little bit on metal, you can do a little bit on metal. But if you want to do a little bit on metal, you can do a little bit on metal. But if you want to do a little bit on metal, you can do a little bit on metal. But if you want to do a little bit on me So with this test I'm about to do now, it's something I haven't ever done yet. It is engraving on stainless steel. Never done it, but let's give it a try because this machine can do it. I did set the power settings to what it did say in the manual that came with this. So we'll see how well this does, because supposedly, if done right, I'm going to have a few different color options on here. We'll see what it does. Now, as you saw, it engraved on this, no problem. Now, there is a lot of learning for me to still do on this, but heck, that came out great looking, no complaints. I do want to sit there and try to get where it can get the different color effects, but that's all in the settings and me learning how to use this machine, which y'all will end up doing more and more videos with me as I sit here and play with this, because that's real nice being able to etch on stainless. Now, I hope y'all like the review of the Falcon 2. Now, this is, like I said, it's a great entry level. If you're wanting to get into laser engraving, I highly recommend it. Now, if you're wanting to buy one, there is a link in the description. I don't make anything from that, no kickbacks or anything. Like I said, they did send this to me for me to test out, so I can give y'all my review on it, how I like it. I'm actually going to be using this quite a bit in my shop as well. I am going to build a little container of it just to help dissipate the smoke in here, which I'll show y'all how to do in future videos. And to keep up with our future videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. It definitely helps us out. Also, be sure to hit that like button as well. And drop a comment if you have any experience with lasers. Now, I know there's a ton of different lasers out there, whether it's CO2, diode, or fiber, which hopefully one of these days soon I'll have me a fiber laser in here as well, so we can show you some of the cool stuff it can do. But let me know where you are with your laser engraving. Also, I'll be sure to take it easy.